We're doing exactly the same thing. We go through these boring periods. We may even go through scary periods. But after it's all said and done, what happens with Bitcoin? We go up. We go much higher. So just think about everything else being a distraction at this point. And the final thing I'll show you against, against the last cycle, the 2020 cycle, right, where we had that COVID crash, you could see it marked in there. That brought Bitcoin down to $3,800. Okay, can you imagine $3,800 Bitcoin right now? If someone told you that you could have bought Bitcoin at $4,000 at that time, would you have bought? Of course, everyone would say yes, seeing that we're at 60,000 now. But when I was streaming then and telling people to load up and to continue to hold on DCA, no one listened then. No one wanted to do that, because at that time, people thought that we were going to go to $1,000 and Bitcoin was going to go to zero. There was 99% bears out there, right? That's just how it is. Right now, it seems silly for me to say, focus on the future, HODL and DCA. But next year when Bitcoin is at $250,000, I'm just going to say the same thing. I told you guys so. You could have bought Bitcoin when we dipped to 49,000, when we dipped to 50 something thousand, when we dipped to whatever. You could have bought. You could have bought, and you should have bought. All right. That's it for Bitcoin. Even though this is a scary month, okay, this historically scary month, there are a lot of good things to look forward to, right? So you just have to stay strong, be patient, and focus on the future, and let the gains come to you. It's really that simple. There's nothing difficult to understand about that, right? And here's something else that's not difficult to understand: the hash rate. The hash rate for Bitcoin's network is at an all-time high once again. And you could see from this chart, the hash rate just keeps on going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Bitcoin is the only crypto where the price trails the hash rate. As long as the hash rate continues to go upwards, means that the miners are mining, the network is getting stronger. And again, the reason why Bitcoin's network is so secure, and the reason why Bitcoin is so valuable, is because there is a set supply. Everyone is fighting for the last few. And with the hash rate going up and difficulty going up, it makes it that much more impossible for anyone to try to hack the network or anyone trying to stop the network, which is basically impossible at this point, right? So this is also very, very important. Now, if we saw extended periods of, say, hash rate coming down, let's say all of a sudden if the hash rate from where our level drops to like 2020 levels, that would be concerning. But we just don't see that happen, right? The network just keeps on getting bigger and stronger over time. And it also correlates with the price action, which gets bigger and stronger every single cycle. And Bitcoin, from a medium of exchange perspective, I still think Bitcoin is the greatest store of value ever in history. And even today, there's nothing better as a store of value. But Bitcoin, from a medium of exchange perspective, I mean, it already processed more value than MasterCard and Visa combined. And this was 2023, during a pretty bad year. I can't imagine what that's going to be this year or next year. And another reason why we want that network to be strong, right? But again, as this number goes up, it shows you how many people are in this space utilizing Bitcoin for day-to-day transactions and for just buying and selling. And plus, right now, on top of Bitcoin, we know there are a lot of other new innovations happening that is also driving numbers upwards too, right? All this is adding to something special. Very, very special. Stock to flow model is predicting that, yeah, we are going to turn around, right? So again, despite, this is a long-term view, despite the fact that we may be in a historically bad month, Bitcoin is still doing its thing. I mean, can you even detect September from 2022, 2021, 2020? Like, you can't even see it. It's just a distraction, right? It's a short-term blip. On the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. When you zoom out and you look at Bitcoin, this is what it does every single cycle. So there are a lot of people that are complaining that this cycle has sucked so far, that this cycle hasn't moved, that we've been sideways for 6 months, and you know, this is the worst cycle that we've been through. Is there really? I think those people just haven't lived through a previous cycle. I don't think people remember how bad last cycle was. That wasn't that long ago. Do you guys remember the COVID period? Do you remember that Bitcoin fell from $10,000 down to $3,800 and stayed below $10,000 for like a year before it started rising? Imagine now Bitcoin being under $10,000. That wasn't that long ago. That was only 4 years ago. During that COVID period, Bitcoin stayed below 10,000 for like 9-10 months before it started rising up, right? And this cycle, yeah, we hit a low of 15,000-16,000, but it was short-lived. And then we quickly went up to 20 and 30,000, and we stayed there for months, and then we blasted off to 70,000. And it made us a little bit, I don't know what the right term is, but it kind of spoiled us in a way. So now people are thinking, well, you know, 59, 60,000 is a bad place to be. It really isn't, especially if you've lived through the lows of 2023 and if you lived through 2020. You'll realize that this cycle is not that bad. It's way better than previous cycles. Ripple is going to be adding smart contracts to XRP Ledger. I know there are so many people that love XRP. This will make it more useful. If Ripple, the XRP Ledger can support smart contracts, and you can now have DeFi on top of XRP Ledger, and you can have more than DeFi. You can have memes on top of XRP Ledger. You could have so many things happen, games on top of XRP Ledger. That would definitely make XRP more valuable. At this point in time, not so valuable, but with a lot of these dApps coming aboard, could definitely make it more valuable. So that's coming up in 2025, according to the article.